it'll just put it right back into the opponent's hand, and then they just have to reload and try to go off again next turn. We also run 2 Cavernous Souls to help us deal with enemy counter spells. More often than not, we're going to be naming human with this thing, but we also have a few other things in here. We have a core artificer, we have an elemental. I believe. And we have a couple angels here as well. I believe everything. I believe everything else, with the exception of those guys and Phyrexian Revoker here, are humans. So, human is a pretty safe name here, and I look forward to seeing what this can do. So, with that talk out of the way, here is everything else. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to organize this a tiny bit. And we're going to box everything up here. This here is just disruption. Here is more disruption. Oh, let's take these. Here we are. So what am I doing here? Pretty much I'm just trying to show you guys everything that there is to know about this deck. So we have our non-creature stuff over here. We have 4 Aether Vial to pretty much give our creatures flash and to play around counter spells. Aether Vial is absolutely bananas in this deck. We also have 4 Swords to Plowshares as our premium removal spell of choice, seeing as how we are in mono white. Nothing really beats this. And then to really polish things off, we have Stoneforge Mystic here. This is actually a card that is banned in Modern. And it's primarily because she is incredibly fast. We can play a turn 3 Batterskull with her and then just start going to town on our opponent's life total. Because it turns out a 4/4 Vigilance Lively creature on turn 3 is pretty hard to beat. And also, this is an equipment. We could pay 3 to bounce it to our hand and then just rinse and repeat this all over again. We have Sword of Fire and Ice as an extra card draw engine, and then Umezawa's Jite is just a nuts piece of equipment. It is so damn good. I absolutely love it, and hopefully we can see silly things abound with it later on. And then all this stuff over here is pretty much just our way of interacting with our opponent and making their life as miserable as we can. We got 4 copies of Mother of Runes to provide spot protection against whatever our opponent tries to disrupt us with. We have 2 copies of Phyrexian Revoker, and this is going to be useful if... And it's pretty much a Pithing Needle stable to a 2/1. A slightly better Pithing Needle, although it does not stop fetch lands. What it does do is it stops stuff like... Oh, geez. It stops Sneak Attack. It stops Lion's Eye Diamond. It stops a lot. It stops a lot of stuff. There's a lot of activated abilities in Legacy, and Phyrexian Revoker is one of the better cards at shutting it down. Sarah Avenger is a incredible creature for its stat line. We do need to wait a little bit before actually casting her, but we can vial her in on turn 3. So that type line there doesn't really affect it too much. Thalia, we already talked about her. She's a Thorn of Amethyst, stable to a 2/1 first striker, legendary body, and she's just absolutely nuts. Sanctum Prelate is a fantastic hoser against some decks. Against lands, we can name 2 with us, and then they can't Punishing Fire or Life from the Loam or really do much of anything. We can also name 4 against Storm, and then we can't die to Tendrils of Agony. She does a lot of stuff. There's a lot of spell-based decks in Legacy, and she's very good at roughing them up. Mirran Crusader is another really good threat against decks running black removal. I guess he's a little bit worse because a lot of the black decks are Grixis nowadays, and that means they got Bolt to deal with this guy, but either way, still pretty solid. We got 4 copies of Flickerwisp to deal with any annoyances on our opponent's end, and also it's a 3/1 flyer, very evasive, not that easy to deal with. 2 copies of Recruiter of the Guard as pretty much tutor for just about any creature in our deck. They're all less than 2 toughness, and that is really, really neat. And we also have 1 copy of Palace Jailer. He's pretty much a Fiend Hunter, staple to ETB Become the Monarch. And for those of you who don't know what Monarch does, pretty much it's just an emblem you get at the beginning of each end step. You get to draw a card. If a creature deals combat damage to you, whoever controls that creature becomes the Monarch in your stead. And that's pretty much all there is. And then finally, one last bit of spice here, in Thalia Heretic Cathar. This is a 3/2 first striker. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. And nuts against decks running a lot of non-basic lands. This is nuts against Eldrazi Post. This is nuts against Depths. It's nuts against a lot of stuff, and I really, really like her. All right, quick talk about the sideboard. We got 2 Path to Exiles as pretty much swords 5. It's pretty much swords 5 and 6 in case we need spot removal. Blessed Alliance. Typically, we use the last mode there. Target opponent sacrifices an attacking creature, though we could also hypothetically use it for the first mode as well in case we're going up against an aggressive burn deck or something like that. That's also perfectly valid. 2 Containment Priest because for show and tell matchups and other cheaty creature matchups is also nuts. Ethersworn Canoness, again, really good against combo decks. Rest in Peace to shut down Graveyard Synergy. Spirit of the Labyrinth in case the opponent is drawing more cards than they really should. Lane and Relic Warder to help deal with artifacts and enchantments. Council's Judgment as just a good, very good, what's his face, spot removal in general. We got Gideon in case we need to create more creatures in a hurry. And, of course, 2 Fairy Macabres just as extra graveyard hate. Hello, Wise Wolf. Good day to you, good sir. Just hypothetically, you say. Oh, yeah, hypothetically, for sure. Everything here is hypothetical because, well, this is Magic the Gathering, and you know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm awful at this game. I really am. But we are going to play this deck for a little bit, and we're going to see how it goes, and hopefully you guys are willing to stay along for the ride. This is going to be super, super exciting. What I'm going to do, however, and I'm aware that I did just unpause the screen and just provide my deck tech here, I am going to use the bathroom real quick, so I'm going to do that, and when we get back, we will jump into a Legacy queue and see how this deck does. Back in a few. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back. Hope you've been enjoying the music. I believe that is Mirror's Edge playing right now. Yeah, you went very decently. Yeah, I guess so. Though I really do not try to blow my own horn in any respect. I absolutely do think that I have a lot to learn about this game. It is a really fun game, and I'm glad I get to play it. But I will say that I am absolutely an amateur. And as a result of that, I need to take the pause menu off, don't I? There we go. As a result of that, I find that I am always looking to improve, and this is what I go for. I don't mind the fact that I lose because in the end I find that I become a better person by the end of it, a better player at the end of it. And that is really all that matters to me. Do I get upset when I lose? Absolutely, 100%. I can't imagine anyone who's happy when they lose. But when I lose, I know that I have something to learn and something to take away from it. And that is precisely what we are aiming for with this sort of stuff. What I should also do, I should also look around at the open play stuff. Players, turn off solitaire. I was scrimming with this deck a while ago. Yeah, you know, yeah, I know we're gonna jump out of this. Oh, literally right as I said that. Okay, fair enough. All right, so so what we're gonna do is we're actually going to play a warm-up match here at the open tables, and then once that's up and over with, we will get cracking on whatever you guys might have for me. Thanks again so much for tuning in, guys. This is gonna be pretty chill. This is a really laid-back stream. And I know a lot of y'all are. I know a lot of y'all are really damn busy, and I completely get it because it's the end of the year, everything's winding up, and then Christmas is like 2 weeks out, a little bit more than that. So I get it. Shit's busy, but for those of you who are around and for those of you who are here chilling with me, you know what? Y'all are really awesome, and I really do appreciate you guys being here. Finals indeed. We'll host our own match here, and we will take a look. And see what you guys got for me. Ugh. Forgive me, guys. Tiny bit tired today. I did, however, finish up my paper for spatial statistics, so I did manage to get something productive done today. Remind me to actually get my thing. And remind me to actually get my paper in at some point. Yeah. I'm gonna try turning up the music a little bit. One sec. There we go. Let's try that. It's not as loud as I thought it was. There we go. It's interesting. I really do like Legacy. The problem is that there's just a metric ton of expensive cards that you need in order to play it properly. So I play it on. So I like to play it online. It's way, way, way cheaper to do so. Oh, here we go. So let's rock and roll. Show chat. Have fun, have fun. Alright. Opponent has won the die roll, decided to keep 7 cards, and for a Vial hand, this one's pretty alright, so we'll hang on to it. I'm also going to put a stop in my opponent's upkeep for Rashad and Port. Opponent starts with a Flooded Strand, sure. Starts with an island. This is a Preordain. Alright, so Flooded Strand, Preordain smells a bit like Miracles. Opponent bottomed both. Alright, fair enough. We will take our draw. It's another Stoneforge Mystic. We could probably do with a second land at some point, but for the time being, we could definitely try Plains Vial. Maybe they have a Daze. If they have a Daze, this is terrible. Oh, nope, we got there. Alright, sweet. Alright. So what's going on with our opponent then? Another Preordain. Are they searching for land? Let's see how they do the scry. Okay, they split it. So I think they found it. There it is. Polluted Delta now. Alright. We will trigger Aether Vial. We will definitely tick it up. And we'll draw a card. Palace Jailer, huh? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to just pass the turn and then Violin Mom later, so I don't have to worry about days. Opponent gets another island. Fair enough. It's a pretty this is gonna be a pretty slow-paced matchup. Mismatched Flooded Strand. Ew. Opponent. For shame. Mismatched island. Oh, that's what's going on. Well, we have the answer for that. We'll put it into Palace Jailer. Thank you. Opponent. So, okay, they are on Mono Blue Show and Tell. Okay, we got him. We got him pretty damn good. Alright, that's awesome. Alright, against Show and Tell. Containment Priest needs to come in. What else? I don't think we care too much about Aethersworn Canonist. Council's Judgment is kinda meh. Path to Exile doesn't really do anything to stop Embercool. Blessed Alliance is somewhat useful. Relic Warder is decent. And Spirit of the Labyrinth is also decent. So what to cut now? Don't think Flicker Wisp doesn't do a ton. Thalia is meh. Palace Jailer sure as hell stays in. What you should do is you should trim the Stoneforge Mystics and the equipments package just wholesale, typically. And I feel like that's what I should do. So yeah, I'm going to try that. And then we'll bring in Wisp. I guess Council's Judgment isn't awful. Sanctum Prelate definitely stays in. And what else do we want to try? Maybe something like that. We'll put in an Aethersworn Canonist. Okay, we'll try this. Not quite sure how to board with this deck if you guys haven't noticed. Okay, this hand is really good. We will keep. So opponent won't be playing Daze, but they will be playing Force of Will. Island go. Very interesting. So I guess we'll just do Plains Vial. Spell Pierce. Alright, fair enough. You got us, opponent. So that's pretty annoying. So we should either draw another land, ideally that makes white mana, or Brainstorm. All right. Polluted Delta. Okay. So that's probably going to get cracked at some point. It's another Wasteland. Okay, so what do we want to do? We can do Wasteland, hold up, Containment Priest? Yeah, we have to hold a Containment Priest because they have a show and tell, then we just get blown out, so we're going to do like this and pass the turn. Opponent fetches, as to be expected. Another Polluted Delta. Preordain, yeah. The opponent is going to pass. So I suppose we flash in Containment Priest now. And I am definitely expecting a Omniscience to happen at some point. Though we will definitely get our beats on. And unfortunately we can only cast one thing in our hand, and I think I'm going to go with Aethersworn Canonist. We'll play the second Wasteland. And now this gets countered. Oh, Impulse. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, did opponent find Force of Will? They did not. Alright. Oh, I could have played Aether Vial off the back of that. That was bad. Oh well. Show and tell. Alright. I'll put in Aether Vial. The only thing that won't get interrupted. Alright. So opponent has an Omniscience. They probably got an Emrakul. So we gotta figure out how we're dealing with it. Tick up, draw a card. Something good. I don't think we got there. Yeah, see, Emrakul can't be swords. So that sucks. At best, we slowed our opponent down. Alright, so what can we do here? Well, we're definitely going to go to combat. We're going to pop them. Can't cast Sarah Avenger. Guess the best we could do is play Thalia, but then they just take a turn. And that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, this is going to be a board wipe. I guess we'll make them have it. It's interesting that we haven't drawn Guardian of Thraben yet. Insofar this match. Feel like if we did get there, then things would be way better. Yeah, there's the Emrakul. So opponent's gonna take a turn. And Thalia doesn't really do a ton. Yeah, protection from colored spells. Yeah, so we're not interacting with that. Alright, so now that we know that this is the Omniscience version, we can probably adjust our plan a little bit better. What do we want to do? Mirroring Crusader is not good. The Canonist should definitely come back in. I still don't like this. I'm still iffy on the Stoneforge package. I feel like it's just very meh. All right, guess we're gonna try it like this. Just that one minor adjustment. And keep in mind, you guys, we're still learning the deck, so we haven't really hit a ton of our taxers. We hit a lot of our annoying stuff, but we haven't hit any of our taxing things. So we should definitely try to make that happen. This is decent. All right. So we're going to start off on lanes, I believe. No turn 1 play, but against Omnitel, that's not the worst thing. Flooded Strand, sure. Alright, we will go to draw. Yuck. Drawing a lot of Sarah Avengers, and we're still lacking double white. Alright, so we are going to drop in Thalia. In between Thalia and a Rishadan port, we are looking pretty okay. They'll brainstorm in response. Yeah, that's fine. And let's go. Polluted Delta. For sure. Opponent gets another land. All right. We draw. Another Schadenport. Alright, so we'll go to combat. And we have the option between playing Aethersworn Canonist or just taxing them. And I think I just want to tax them. So we'll play a port. We'll pass the turn, stopping their upkeep. And there we go. That's the power of port. Volcanic Island. Okay, so they are on. So they do have the sneak attack plan. Okay, that is very useful. That is good to know. The second plains too is also really nice. That is very, very good news for us. So we're gonna get in with Thalia. We're going to play a Plains, and we are going to slam this Phyrexian Revoker on the table. Opponent would not have fetched for Volcanic Island if they did not plan to sneak attack us. This is a force. Pitching Cunning Wish. Yeah, fair enough. Alright, so I guess we will pass the turn. Stop in your upkeep, tap the Volcanic Island. Impulse and response, sure. Another Flooded Strand, alright. What do we draw? Containment Priest. Alright. So we can recruit her for... So there's a lot of things we could do here. But it starts with us getting in with Thalia. So there is definitely a sneak attack on the other side of the board. Of that, there is very minimal doubt. So we can recruit her for Palace Guard and see what they do. That seems pretty decent. And then we just let them untap. I don't see too many problems with that. Yes. We're going to get Palace Jailer. Opponent doesn't fetch. So now they do. Sneak attack costs 5 with Thalia out. This could definitely be a show and tell here though. Brainstorm. All right. And opponent's cantripping. We will not deny them that. They are definitely cantripping. Are they looking for land? There's a Volk. A Wasteland here would be really damn good. Swords. Not the best thing, but we can probably make the most of it. So we'll get in. So and now the question is, do I want to tax them or do I want to just hold up Containment Priest? Or Palace Jailer. I am holding up Palace Jailer for the show and tell. And they can attack with the Emrakul. But they do not have the mana to sneak attack me. They would not have the mana to sneak attack me if I decided to port them. All right. So yeah, we're just gonna port them. We'll tap down their volcanics. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to stop in their draw step and then tap the other one. They tried to be clever. This will be another impulse. 4 mana. Cunning Wish. Sure. Wonder what they're getting. Kozilek's return. Oh, yikes. Yeah, that's a good one. But the thing is, as long as we keep tapping the red sources, I don't think they're casting it. Ever, so. And they are showing that they are missing their land drop, so. Oh, wait a minute. That's an instant, isn't it? That is pretty solid. So we will get in. And I think we'll play a Sarah Avenger is what we'll do. Something that can't die to a Pyroclasm. Then we'll play a Plains, pass the turn, stopping our opponent's upkeep. Tap a Volcanic Island. Guess in our upkeep we will tap the other one and make him play the return now. That's fine. We'll go to draw. Wisp is not bad. So we'll go to combat, in for 3. And guess we'll just tax him. And force them to have the other volcanic island in play if they want to play sneak attack. Yeah, Ponder's fine. And opponent taps out. GG's. All right, pretty good first showing. We did pretty all right there. How is everybody doing? Welcome to MTG. Oh yeah. All right. So y'all just let me know if you want me to do anything for you guys. All right. I'm here to assist. I'm here to help. I'm here to educate. If you guys want me to show you anything, then just say the word. Thax is a really fun deck, though. I don't think there's any question there. It's a really fun deck to play. It's an indirect prison deck. I can I can appreciate a mid-range deck that is constantly meddling with the opponent somehow. I really liked humans in Modern. I kind of became a little disenchanted with it as time went on, but I can appreciate the deck. It's damn fun. All right, next match. I would love to be on the play, and I would love to be on the play with this hand. Opponent has taken a mulligan. And has decided to stay on 6. Scry to the bottom. Fair enough. Well, I'm not going to make any pretenses here. We're going to do Plains, Vial, go. Swamp. Yeah, Thoughtseize is meh. Alright, so opponent has a variety of options here. And they take Mom, understandable. She was going to be our turn to play. All right, so we'll take up Vial, draw for turn. What I think I'll do is I'll just play Rashad Import and then tap this Swamp. I don't know what I'm supposed to name with Revoker just yet. It can, this Swamp Thoughtseize can signal a lot of things. Windswept Teeth. Alright. Bayou. This could be a Night of the Reliquary deck. It's definitely smelling like one. Another black. Cabal Therapy. Ow. Wonder what he names here. Revoker. Sure. Alright, so we are not looking especially pretty. But we're getting there. Alright, we'll take Vial up to 2, draw for turn. Another Plains. Guess it's decent. Let's tap that Bayou and then still hold up Plow. Go ahead, opponent. Ooh, this might be Nick Fit. I could definitely see that. Between the green mana and the Cabal Therapy and the Abzan stuff, I could definitely see that. Alright, so Vile Sarah Avenger. What do we want to do with this? I guess I'm just going to keep it on 2 for the time being. No major reason to take it up yet. Stoneforge is good. So we'll get in with Sarah Avenger. And I don't think I want to cast Stoneforge. I want to Vial her in, end of turn. So then we can tap her and immediately slam the equipment she gets. What do I want to get here? Jite? I like Jite, I think. So upkeep, port you. Opponent, nothing of note. All right. I think opponent's F6. Stoneforge. Okay, use her ability. I like getting Jite. Let's leave it on 2. Does opponent have something? I can only imagine they do. They're tanking. Leave it on 2. Ooh, Mirror Crusader's a bomb. I kind of want to run him out. Let's go to combat. Get in for 3. Plenty of mean stuff happening here. Path to exile. Path to exile. Yeah, sure. We'll take the plains. I feel like Nick Fit is a really good matchup for us just because of just because of the fact the idea is they run more basics than a lot of other decks do, so they use Veteran Explorer to actually draw them out, but unfortunately for them, we kind of have that war won. So with the Path to Exile out of their hand, I think I just want to slam this Mirror Crusader. That there's what we're weak to. So now they can therapy away Jite. We do have a pretty good clock though. Wonder what they name. Actually, these guys come in untapped, don't they? All right. So between the swords and the Jite, I think the Jite is a little more important. And we'll put the Jite in. They can take away our swords, and we'll just go from there. We'll take our 2 for 1. Is it unfortunate that it happened? Yeah. Marin. Okay. I mean, I don't think I care about her, but neat. All right. And I think we'll take Violet this time. Fine, Thalia. That's not bad. And I need to remember what Jite does here. Ooh, nasty. Guess we can trim. Guess we can trim the Avengers. Is Rip too aggressive? The problem is it's a Marin deck, so... Yeah, sure, I'll hang on to it. Guess Relic Order isn't that amazing. And what the hell are the Fairy Macabres doing in here? Okay, so here's what we'll do. The rest of the pieces are here. Yeah, maybe just some very light sideboarding is what we need. Alright, we'll try it like that. And if things go to hell, then things go to hell. While our opponent is deciding what in the world is going on. Daniel, let me talk about that tank problem for you. Come on. Come on. There we go. Okay. Good pen. All right. So the entire idea behind a tank problem is there's always going to be some quantity of solute, and I'm going to call this solute Y here, all right? And that quantity is going to vary as a bunch of different flow rates. And pretty much your change in how much solute is in the tank at any given time is just going to be whatever your rate of it coming in is minus the rate at which it's coming out. Pretty straightforward, right? I'm going to jump back to games. See how this hand looks like. This hand is bananas. Opponent will scry to the top as well. All right. So how it goes is there's a rate in and there's a rate in and there's going to be a rate out. All right. So what that pretty much means is that there's going to be. I apologize. I can't really do two things at once. Or at least not this early in the game. So I'm gonna switch back here. Which do I mind getting blown up the least by a possible wasteland? Probably Rishadan Port because I kind of need the white mana. All right, we're done. All right. So, as an example of this, let's actually just set something up real quick. Here's a tank, and I'm gonna have stuff coming in. Opponent Assassin's Trophies us. Yeah, sure, that's actually great. Vial. For sure. We draw a Rest in Peace. I think I like that. We're just gonna play this game out, and then I promise I'll get back to this. All right, I promise. Sorry about that. But what I keep saying about tank problems is that the only thing that's difficult about them is the setup. Once you get that done, then you have a first-order linear ODE, and it's very easy to solve with method of undetermined coefficients. Not method of undetermined coefficients. Swing and a miss. Integration factor method is what I meant to say. There we go. Yeah, once you got that, then life's good. Nothing really to worry about. Mother of Runes should get filed in here. Aether Vial onto the stack, take it up to 2. Swords, not bad. Alright, so we're going to play Phyrexian Revoker and then get ready to Violent Stoneforge Mystic. Evolutionary Leap. And we have an untapped Mother of Runes ready to go, so we're sitting pretty all right. I'm sorry. It's good music. It's good music. Super Hexagon had some really good music. All right, Sax Marshflats. And gets another non-basic. Opponent's got 3 cards in hand. What are they going to do with them, I wonder? Path to Exile. Sure, sounds good. I'll give her Pro White. And then Lily. Yow. That's not good. Well, but we have a way around it though. So Mom dies, which is regrettable. But we have ways to deal with this for sure. Yes, I will Violent Stoneforge Mystic. I will use her ability. Let me get Batterskull. And now we get to do naughty things. So we do need to take this up to 3. Draw a card. Get a Plains. Alright. So we will go to combat. Attack Lily. Jared, do you still have office hours tomorrow? I do not have tutoring hours. No. No, I don't. No, I don't. But I'll be keeping an eye. I'll keeping an eye on my email. My Monday's going to be really busy, unfortunately. So I apologize to you guys, but unfortunately, that is kind of where we are. So let's see here. I'm gonna violin the Flicker Wisp. And we're going to bounce Revoker. So yeah, unfortunately no office hours tomorrow, but I will be doing a tank prom here as soon as this match is up and over with. It should be in the very near future. Alright, so Revoker comes back down. We name Liliana the Last Hope. And let our opponent untap. Yeah. So now they get to leap it. Sounds good to understand. Today's my birthday. Didn't want to go to the review session. Just tell you though. Feeling okay. We'll be sure to email if anything comes up. Good job. Well, happy birthday to you, Evan. Sincerely. That's really awesome. They flip another veteran explorer. That's awesome. I am A-okay with that. All right. So our opponent is definitely in trouble. Happy birthday, though, Evan. We'll celebrate with a ton of math. Our opponent is pretty much dead here. A veteran explorer is not going to cut it, dude. So I want to make sure we get a clear path to Liliana here. So we're going to start by swordsing, and then we're going to activate Stoneforge Mystic, drop in Batterskull. No, I do not. Oh, wow. Yeah, okay. That's a good one. So let's go to attacks. Liliana's not going anywhere, so we recruit her for our other Revoker and name Evolutionary Leap. I think that's what the plan is. I do not care about Liliana, though a kill spell could definitely ruin our day. So we're going to Violin Recruiter. Yes. We'll get Phyrexian Revoker. 2 Evolutionary Leap. And pass the turn. And that's the power of Prison decks. They are casting something, though. 4 mana. Is this another Marin? Hey, Garrick Relentless. Alright, I guess it is Nick Fit, so. Alright. Fair enough. So Liliana gets turned back on. Flicker Wisp dies. I'm trying to think about how much I care, and I think the answer is not that much. So now we just take a turn off, kill those 2, and then we're still in the driver's seat. Now keep it on 3. Draw for turn. Another Vial, yuck. Alright, so let's go to combat. Let's have the Germ attack Lily. We'll have Recruiter kill Garrick. And then these can come at opponent. Actually, maybe not Stoneforge. Yes. Actually, yeah, Stoneforge. Sure. And then we'll just hard cast this Sword of Fire and Ice. Pass the turn. Opponent is going to need a lot of stuff to stop this. Green Sun for 3. All right. Knight of Autumn. That's a good one. Destroy Batterskull, yeah. Alright, Aether Vial. No, leave it on 3. Draw a card. Something good. That's a Swords, not bad. Alright, sure. Get out of here. And then we'll equip this to Revoker. Go to attacks. Get him with the team. Shock opponent. Draw a Stoneforge Mystic. All right. Opponent needs to run pretty all right. And yeah, he taps out. Sure. He will Thoughtseize us, and we will win the game. Fantastic. All right. So now, with that out of the way, let's actually talk about. I apologize for the wait, guys. Opponent didn't want to die. We also made a few net plays, but whatever. All right. So we're talking about tank problems. All right. So tank problems are always in terms of some sort of solvent. I'm going to call this solvent Y for the time being. That's going to represent how much solvent, not necessarily solution, mind you, solvent is inside my tank. The solvent's going to be mixed up in like a water brine or something like that. Doesn't really matter. But there's going to be some known concentration of salt water. Let's say Y is salt. There's going to be some concentration of salt water being pumped in here. So for this, let's call this how about 3 kilograms to the liter is my concentration of salt. And this rate in, which I'm going to call RI, we're going to say that is 2 liters per second. And let's also say that this guy is being pumped out at a rate of, let's say, 1 liter per second. Let's say that there are 100 liters of clean water in this tank to start with, and it can hold 200. All right, so let's set this one up. How are we going to do this? So, again, dy dt is going to be equal to the amount of salt that is coming in minus the amount of salt that is coming out. Sound good? Now, how do we figure out how much salt is coming in at any given time? Well, keep in mind that dy dt is going to be measured in whatever our unit of salt is. We're measuring salt in kilograms times some sort of rate. So we should expect to get these two guys here in terms of kilograms per second. Y'all agree? So for rate in is easy. So dy dt here is going to be equal to, let's see here, a concentration times a rate, right? So I have a concentration of 3 kilograms to the liter of salt coming in, kg over L, times 2 liters per second also coming in. If we multiply these together, you'll notice that we get 6 kilograms per second of salt coming into the tank. And this makes sense unit-wise. It's all logic, guys. Then we have to figure out how much salt is coming out, right? So here's where the tricky part comes in. Because we know the volumetric rate at which the tank is being drained, but we don't know the concentration of the salt that's actually being in there, right? So we have to think about this. how much volume is inside the tank at any given time? Well, we start out with 100 liters, right? Then, every second, 2 liters come in, and then 1 liter comes out. So, seems to me that my volume is going to be 100 liters plus 1 liter for every second the simulation has passed. So V is equal to 100 plus T, right? That's awesome. So now what's our concentration? Well, our concentration is just going to be, well, however much salt is in the tank, right? Y divided by this volume here, 100 plus T. Y is in kilograms for sure, and volume, as you could probably expect, is in liters. And keep in mind that we want to eventually get to liters per second, or kilograms per second, pardon me, as our unit for dy dt. So what do we need to multiply this by? We need to multiply this by a volumetric rate, and wouldn't you look at that? There's one right here. It's 1 liter per second. So if I wanted to formally write this without all the units on it, with the implication that dy dt is indeed in kilograms per second, it may look something like 6 minus y over 100 plus t. And that's how I kick off this, and that's how I set up that ODE. Is everything working okay for you guys? By far and away, the trickiest thing about the tank problems is that they are very, very unintuitive to set up from the onset, so to speak. But, that said, once you actually get this set up, this ODE right here is very, very simple to solve. You do it with integration factor method. And if you guys want to, I can actually step you guys through it to show you how it's done. It is not hard whatsoever. Once you got this problem set up, then the actual solving of it is almost trivial. Well, I take that back. It's not trivial. You do have to put some effort into it. That's not a question. D Wolfie says, yes, this makes sense. I was just having trouble remembering how to set it up. Okay, fantastic. So, I hope this definitely addressed your question. Do you guys have anything else you guys want to share with me before we move on to the next match? Actually, you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do is I'm going to throw up the pause screen for a second. I'm going to check a couple texts. My phone's been kind of going off the hook, and I'm going to get myself cleaned up real quick. So I'll be right back. Feel free to drop more questions in the chat. I will check on them in just a second. USCG183, welcome to the show, my friend. D. Wolfie says, I'm sorry this is a dumb question. Well, it already is. What room will the exam be in on Tuesday? That varies depending on your recitation. You are AR2, so let me look. So let me look this up for you real quick. I do have an email for this. Give me 1 sec, and y'all understand why I'm leaving the pause menu up while I look this up for you. So that's not it. This is it. Let's see here. All right. So Here's how it goes. If you are in AR1, then you are going to be in Bertha 241. If you're in AR2, and I'm pretty sure that, and I'm pretty sure this is you, Mr. D. Wolfie, you are going to be in the CTLM lecture hall. Ada's going to be proctoring that room. That's going to be super fun. And if you're AR3 through 5, you're going to be in Hill Hall, where you have your where you have lecture, and you're going to be taking your exam with Liederman in there. So hopefully that hopefully I cleared up any questions you got. There's no such thing as dumb questions, only curious minds, and I'm glad I could help out there. Let's play some more Magic. You are most welcome, Mr. Wolfie. Which is a sentence I don't get to say that often, so really excited to be doing this for you guys. I'm glad I could be helping out. So since we're on the topic of exam rooms, 8 a.m. is the exam time on Tuesday. Don't forget about that. Loud Silence 2112 will be our foe. Wish him fun. Keeping a lot of very land-light hands, aren't we? This one's okay, but if our Vial gets dazed or something like that, then we are in a heap of trouble. So let's hope that he is on burn. Okay. Alright. That's acceptable. I don't think Wasteland's going to be doing a ton in this one. We will, however, play an Aether Vial. Okay, we're against burn. I don't think this ends incredibly well for us on the draw. Chain Lightning, ow. Three Flicker Wisps. Not a ton of good things they can do. Not in this matchup at any rate. Draw another Aether Vial. Ugh. And I get the feeling this Thalia is not going to be incredibly long-lived, though they won't be able to do anything incredibly mean with her until they untap. So Thalia, maybe buy us a turn. They got a bolt, they gotta throw it at us now. They don't. Fair enough. Searing Blaze is bah, but at least it takes up their whole turn. Rift Bolt. Alright. Rift Bolt's kind of neat. So the interaction there is that we tax it on the way down when he actually tries to cast it. He just suspended it for the time being. Sure. Take Vial up to 2. Draw. Into something good, I hope. Swords. Interesting. We can Swords Thalia. And maybe get a little bit of life gain if push comes to shove. That doesn't sound terrible. Alright, pass the turn. So here comes the Rift Bolt. And I wonder who he's gonna point it at. Still coming at her face, fair enough. Because the good news is we can't really get fire blasted from here. Thalia does tax it. Opponent's playing a lot of mountains, though. They're making all their land drops. Alright, so now we can actually start doing some stuff. So, Vial up to 3, and now we have Instant Speed Flicker Wisps, and that's decent. It would probably be more decent against other decks, but in general, that's just nice to have. High Batter Skull. Probably one of the worst draws we could have had. Well, that's working. So what should have happened was I should have had a stop in my end step and then blink the mountain right after it came back. And then the only thing I would be dead to then would be instant speed burn. But now I just died a Rift Bolt. So I guess we just test our opponent now. Can you go over problem 4B on exam 1? I will have to look that up. But I can do that. Oh. Opponent never tapped it for mana. Yeah. Whoa. Okay, we punted and then the opponent punted. Holy shit. Okay, that was way too goddamn close. That was tight. Holy hell. Should not have gone away with that one. You have yourself a good night, D Wolfie. Good, and I'm glad I could help you out. Wow, wow, wow. That was a game I absolutely should not have won. Yeesh. Aethersworn Canonist is also pretty okay. Council's Judgment away a land. Can I do that? Yeah, no. Good try, Jared. I think this is all I really want to bring in. Heretic Cathar is very meh, and the Sarah Avengers are just a little too clunky. Alright, there we go. Nice hand. This is the keep. Always a good sign when the burn player mulligans. And he tops it. All right. Decent start. Goblin Guide, sure. What's on top? Rishadenport. Rishadenport's actually really good here. Mirror Crusader. Alright. So, yep, this is just going to be Plains Vial. Goblin Guide is going to flip a Wasteland. Well, opponent's getting all of our lands out of our deck, so that's nice of him. Yeah, problem 4B exam 1 on tap for sure. That's an Eidolon, and I'm tempted to just plow that now. And I think I will. Take up Aether Vial, draw another Plains, not awful. Yep, take our medicine. Get out of here, Eidolon, nobody likes you. Alright, so we're going to 12. Goblin Guy continues to draw us lands. Resistance, got a Rift Bolt, and a Lava Spike. Sure. Alright, so we'll take Vile up to 2. We could do with another Plains, apparently. Okay, so now what? Well, I'm not going to be... I don't want to play either of these 3 guys because... Isn't Price of Progress a wonderful card? So we're just going to play Thalia. We're going to pass the turn. And then we're just going to Stoneforge, and then we're going to Violent Stoneforge, get Batterskull, and try to tempo them out. So they're not casting anything on 1 mana, but they could Fire Blast us. That would be annoying. So we'll tax this Rift Bolt on the way down. But Fire Blast doesn't quite do the job. And if they cast Fire Blast, that's all they can cast. Oh, they killed Thalia. That is very unfortunate. I don't think we die if we let this through. So I'll begrudgingly let that happen. They probably have some more action in their hand, but whatever. Alright, so Vile Stoneforge. Use her ability. We're going to get Batterskull. Put Vile on. I guess we could put it to 3 as a... yeah, for sure. And then we can Vile and Mirren Crusader if we absolutely need to. Kind of like that. Oh, it's another Thalia. So play another Plains. Thalia. And we will pass the turn with Batterskull ready to become a blocker. So we're still in pretty scary territory, but if we have the best shot at winning this game from here, this is it. Sticking Batterskull and then going attacking with it. I think we're past the point where we care about idling. Activate Mystic. Here comes the Batterskull. No. And we'll draw another Stoneforge. No, we got a pretty good loop here. So we'll go to combat. No equip school in the Crusader. That's a very yeah, you know what, that's a good point. Opponent says Thalia should be $300. Yeah, for sure. Opponent couldn't do anything about it. Oh yeah, fair enough. To be fair though, they were in a pretty bad lock there in the first place, so yeah, I agree. Yeah, I agree with you. We're learning the deck though. There were a lot of silly things we could have done there. But yeah, Thalia wrapped that up pretty nicely. All right, break time. Could you go over problem 4B on exam 1? That actually requires me to pull up exam 1 here, so give me 1 second. Exam 1. Where in the world are you? Give me 1 minute, guys. I should have it around here somewhere. Or is it exam I? There we go. Filing a Crusader equipping of a skull was lights out. Yeah, fair. Yeah, exactly. I concur. Sorry, I keep missing that line. I'm not good at this game, guys. I'm legitimately not good at this game. But that's why you play games, right? You do it because you want to get better because you suck. Plain and simple. And that's all there is. Why am I having so many problems finding this exam for you guys? I apologize. All right, give me 1 sec here, guys. I apologize. Let's go back to here. So we're going to look up proctoring. Is this it? No. We're getting there. Okay, so that's 2. And this must be... Oh, here's exam 1. Okay. So 4B. Yes. Okay. So let's talk about this one. This was actually my problem on the exam, and it was a real pain in the ass. So let's talk about this. So we're going to clear this board off, and we're going to step through this guy. There's a myriad of ways you can actually go through this. So you can do separation of variables, and you're going to do integration, or you can do integration factor method. I personally prefer integration factor method because that is for sure the most obvious way to do it. You could definitely do it through a really nifty separation of variables, but the problem is that it's not easy to see in any way whatsoever. So let me show you guys the problem here, the diffie we're trying to solve. And I'm going to solve this without a initial condition in the interest of time, but it's not that hard to get into. Apologize. Sitting on my foot weird. So the diffie we're solving here is, I'm going to write this as dy dt as opposed to y prime on the exam minus 2 over t squared y. It's going to be equal to 1 over t squared. That's how it looks? Okay. Good stuff. All right. So what do we do here? I'm going to use integration factor method to solve this one. And the reason I'm interested in doing that is because I noticed that I have a dy dt all by itself and isolated, and I don't have to worry about it in any way whatsoever. And then I also have some sort of function purely in t over here, and some function purely in t over here. So that's what my mind first jumped to. Aha, this will be a integration factor method problem. You could also do this with separation of variables if you're clever enough about it. But for the time being, what we're going to do is we're going to stick with integration factor method. So here's what we're going to do. First thing we need to do is we need to introduce this factor mu, and of course we're going to set mu equal to e to the integral of 2 over t squared dt. This integral turns out to be e to the negative 1 over t, I believe. That makes sense, right? So this is so another way to write this is 2t to the negative 2, and then anti-differentiation means that we end up with e to the negative t negative 1. No, not quite. I'm so good at math, guys. Hold on. We can do this. We can do this. It would be negative 2t to the negative 1, wouldn't it? Yeah, for sure. So we take so by power rule we take a derivative here, and this becomes 2t to the negative 2. Okay, here we go. So this is our mu then. There we are. So negative 2t to the negative 1 for sure. This is what we're going with. So now, what we do is we take this here and we multiply everything by a mu. So how does this look? This looks like dy dt times e to the negative 2t to the negative 1 times 2 over t squared e to the negative 2t to the negative 1 times y is equal to e to the negative 2t to the negative 1 all over t squared. There we go. All right, now what? Well, here we observe that this is a product rule. How do we know? And this is pretty much typical integration factor method behavior. Yeah. Once you compute your mu here and you multiply the entire differential equation by it, this stuff in the parentheses here ends up turning into a product rule for derivatives, right? So one way to combine this could be y e to the negative 2t to the negative 1, all this with a ddt in front of it. And this is going to be equal to e to the negative 2t to the negative 1 all over t squared. And that's and this is how you tee this up. Following this is now things get a little more black, but because now we got to integrate this, right? And you might be looking at this and you might be panicking because this looks like an absolutely horrible integral, and frankly, I don't blame you. But the good news is that we can actually simplify things. We're going to do a u substitution. So if we take u to be negative 2t to the negative 1, well, what's our du then? Our du then becomes 2t to the negative 2 times dt. And wouldn't you know it, there's a t to the negative 2 inside this integral. Well, I wrote it as 1 over t squared, but it's still the same thing, right? So now, with that substitution, this integral now becomes, let's see here, this is going to be e to the u then, with a 1/2 in front of it. No, with a factor of 2. My apologies. No 1/2 for sure. Yeah, there we go. So 1/2 e. So this is 1/2 e to the u. We integrate e to the u with respect to u. That's pretty simple. It's just e to the u again. So this integral just becomes 1/2 e to the negative 2t to the negative 1 plus a constant. And then over here, this integral and this derivative will cancel out, and we end up with y e to the negative 2t negative 1 is equal to 1/2 e to the negative 2t to the negative 1 plus a constant. Then, of course, we divide everything out. Y is going to be equal to 1/2 plus this constant over e to the negative 2t to the negative 1. And there's our general solution. Look good? I kind of went. I had to go off camera for a little bit, but there is the solution to that differential equation. I do agree with you that this was one of the absolute worst questions on the exam. Like, this was absolutely not an easy problem. I do agree with you. Do I think there's going to be anything like this on the final exam? Absolutely not, because the emphasis is going to be mostly on first-order systems of equations as opposed to just these first-order things. Do I think you need to be familiar with this sort of procedure for the exam? Absolutely. Do I think we're going to try breaking your back with something like this? I do not think so. That would be incredibly mean. So hopefully this was a decent review for that particular problem. Let's play another match, and then I think I might start to wrap things up here. Unless you guys have other questions. If you do let me know. For I am here to serve you guys. Let's get back into the game, shall we? Good to hear. Thank you, says USCG 183. You, sir, are most welcome, and I'm glad I'm glad you could be here. And I'm glad we're chilling out. Going up against Mr. Shades. Well, wish him fun. I know we kept a lot of land light hands throughout the entire day, but I feel like this is one where I just probably shouldn't hang on to it. Let's go to 6. This one's good. Apart from the fact it's pretty much a 5-card hand until we draw a Stoneforge Mystic, but whatever. Mom Top doesn't sound terrible. So we'll do this. And we'll see if we can't just shut off our opponent's interaction early on in the game. Starts with Savannah and a Mom himself. Okay. So this is a battle. So a battle of the lock decks is what you want, eh? Well, you're gonna get it. And we're going to do it like this. Cast Mom. And then we're going to waste that Savannah, I think. Forest, sure. Opponent definitely shouldn't be attacking, I agree there. We'll draw Swords to Plowshares. Now they did get to untap with Mom, which is unfortunate. But that said, we have a Thalia, so here she comes. Gaia's Cradle. That's an interesting one. And it's very, very rich and portable. I'm okay with this. Oh, wow. All right. Let's get in with Thalia. See if opponent blocks. Sure. Well, I feel good about that. I feel really good about that. So we're going to go to their upkeep and port cradle. A lot of bad things we're doing to the opponent. Oh my! Yeah, goodbye, opponent. Yeah, nobody likes playing with Thalia. Nobody likes Thalia. Oh no. Just oh no. Thank you, Mr. Shades. Oh my. Oh jeez. All right, guys. I think we're gonna call it good here. I think I've addressed just about everyone in the chat and addressed any all concerns. If you guys want me to do this again, do let me know over email. I can probably organize something for Monday evening if you guys are interested in that. So do let me know if you guys are up for this sort of stuff again. But this was really cool. This was really fun. Damn it, I love this deck. This deck is so sweet. Love playing it a ton. My name's Jared WildSnivy Poplar, guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to my tutoring stream once again. Fun stuff. Take care, y'all. Take care.